A ministry of the Archdiocese fosters healing and hope for those affected by crime and incarceration. Joyful noise fills Holy Name Cathedral as hundreds gather to celebrate African American heritage.
Bulls win! Bulls win!
Yeah.
On a Sacraments 3-ball at the buzzer!
A broadcasting legend shares stories of faith and fadeaway jumpers. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today on Sanctuary. I'm Father Greg Sakowicz, rector of Holy Name Cathedral. In the book of Matthew, Jesus says, "When I was in prison, you came to visit me." The church has an obligation to reach out to our incarcerated brothers and sisters. That's where Colby House comes in. They're an agency of the Archdiocese that provides a sanctuary for those impacted by incarceration.
Walking together with our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated is at the core of our ministry at Colby House. And when we walk beside someone who's been labeled by society as a criminal, a convict, a felon, an offender, when we really listen to their story and see them as a person who reflects the image of God, we really start to realize how inaccurate and how damaging those labels are. These are photos of men who are currently in jail or in prison. Men I have come to know through Colby House. One of the men you see here is the great-grandson of a dear member of the Colby House community, Anita Cole. Anita was unable to join us in person today, but she graciously agreed to sit down with us beforehand for an interview. So I invite you to set aside your assumptions and begin to see reality through Anita's eyes.
My name is Anita Cole, and it's ANITACOLE. I have 5 adult children. I have 18 grandchildren, and I have 23 great-grandchildren. My oldest one is Zacchaeus, who is now incarcerated. I got a hold of my 2 oldest great-grandsons when they were young. One was 15 months and one was born in Moore's Penitentiary. His mother was serving time there. And I've had them ever since, till they got grown. It was terrible. I'd never been in the jail to visit nobody. I told my grandson if he ever got in trouble, I would never come up there to see him. I would never put no money on his books. I said, I'll never talk to you. All that stuff went out the window when I saw him in jail behind bars. I just couldn't take it. I just broke down. But I knew where his heart was. You know, if I hadn't known where his heart was, I wouldn't have been 100% behind him. Right now, I'm still his spokesman. I'm still his advocate. He's taller, his hair is longer, he wears braids, and this is the first time I had my arms around him in almost 5 years. First time I hugged him, a chill went down me when I saw him because he's a different person, he talks better, he wants a clothing line. He wants to do a lot of things now. Everything that I told him that he could do, now he's thinking about doing it. Like he told me, he said, "Grandma, when I get out," he said, "I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna promise you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay out of trouble." But I wrote a lot of letters to everybody, all the basketball players, the rappers. I wrote to ministers, I wrote a lot of letters. One of the letters was to the Archbishop. And he might have not answered it personally, but his staff sent me here to Colby House. I met Emily. She started this meeting for relatives of incarcerated people. And they was so nice to me. Then I got COVID in April of 2020. And Emily called me to see how I was doing. She does that. That is so nice of her. And I told her that I had COVID and I wasn't feeling. She said, oh, I'm sorry to hear. But after that, they sent me food. They sent me food at the door. And then there's Deacon Pablo. He used to go to the jails and talk to the guys. And I asked him over the phone, would he please go to, I told him where my grandson was, would you please go talk to him, please? And he did that for me. And I just went out of my mind for Colby House.
During his papacy, Pope Francis has encouraged the faithful to protect the planet and encourage peace in times of war. Do not forget to pray for me, a simple request from the Pope as he guides the Church. This year marks the 10th anniversary of his election to the papacy, and Catholics around the world respond with a gift, 10 Hail Marys, one for each year in service. The Archdiocese was proud to encourage the faithful to participate.
Hail Mary,
Hail Mary,
Hail Mary,
full of grace,
the Lord is with thee.
blessed art thou amongst women,
and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary,
Mother of God,
Pray for us sinners.
now and at the hour of our death.
Amen.
15,000 people work in the Archdiocese of Chicago. It's a large operation, and it takes a team of experts to keep it running smoothly in a digital age. Today, we introduce you to one of those hardworking employees, keeping us plugged in the world of high tech.
If I had to sit behind a desk, I would probably say no. I like moving around, I like interacting with people. You learn so much just besides the job. You learn about people. My name is Kiman Odukoya, and I am a level 2 field technical support specialist. It means I go out and I fix stuff that people may be having challenges with. I go to where the trouble is. I'm in a way a troubleshooter. I am driving all over the place. I didn't think it was all high tech. I thought church, little closet converted, a couple of servers, all the tools that we need to do whatever we need to do. We use the latest and the greatest. I don't really see the difference between this setting and a corporate setting. I love it, I love it. I meet different people and I'm always learning something, not just about the work, but how people use our technologies. There's plenty of opportunities, plenty of fun to have, plenty of things to learn, and plenty of faith to consume.
We have more coming your way, including the celebrations in our Archdiocese honoring African American heritage.
My title is Operations Director at the Archdiocese of Chicago, and my job is very heavily financially based. Currently, I have over 14 buildings, so managing the 14 buildings, managing staff, it serves a lot of purpose because I know he is reaching out to the community.
A lot of times as a priest, there's all these things we have to respond to in the moment. You have to go to the hospital, you have to go there. It helps me to be more present to the people I'm ministering to in the moment because I know that other things are being taken care of.
If you want to live with purpose and contribute to your community, this is the place to be.
It was a time of honor and celebration. Students, teachers, and clergy filled Holy Name Cathedral to pay tribute to the rich history of Black Catholics. This year's theme, Living Our Faith and Honoring Our Legacy.
As we gather in prayer today, we continue to be reminded of our theme, living our faith, honoring our legacy. We're joyful and thankful that so many of you are here to join us in this prayerful celebration of our shared history and faith.
Can I get an amen? Catholic schools in Black History Month have the same goal: bring everybody together. Come to the Lord together. Not just with the people I like, not just with the people who are like me or who look like me. We come together. We come to gather around the Lord. We come strong, we come together.
He also played an important role in funding the building of Old St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. During a yellow fever epidemic, Pierre Toussaint cared for the sick and the dying. He was a successful entrepreneur who did not hesitate to share the fruits of his labor with others. Today, he is the only layperson to be buried in the crypt of St. Patrick Cathedral in New York City. God, please bless all people with generous spirits and giving hearts like Pierre Toussaint.
Peyton was the recipient of the African American Heritage Student Leadership Award as part of this very prayer service in 2018. Today, she is a TV news producer, reporter, and anchor for News Channel 9 in Syracuse, New York. This morning, Peyton will also present the Student Leadership Awards to two deserving recipients who are being honored today.
Please join me in congratulating Mackenzie Adams. I'm 22 years old, about 8 months into my career. While this journey hasn't been the easiest, my faith and trust in God has made everything possible. At times, life may feel like a roller coaster with highs and lows, but I'm realizing it really is beautiful, and we really have the free will to make it how we want as long as we have that relationship with God.
Sports fans have been hearing Chuck Swirsky's legendary baritone voice as a play-by-play man for the NBA for over 25 years. For 15 of those years, he's been the radio voice of the Chicago Bulls. I had the pleasure of sitting down with Chuck, where he talked about his relationship with God, his career in broadcasting, and his brand new book. Our guest today is someone whose award-winning career includes calling NBA games for the last 25 years plus, and over 50 years in broadcasting. He is a faithful and active parishioner at Holy Name Cathedral. Recently, he authored a book that chronicles his incredible career entitled Always a Pleasure. Joining us now in our studio for the full hour today is legendary Holy Name Cathedral parishioner and current radio play-by-play announcer of the Chicago Bulls, the and one and only legendary Chuck Swirsky. Good morning, Chuck. How are you?
Good morning, Father. Good morning. And Mark, good morning. Father Greg has always reminded me, like, yesterday is, you can't come back to yesterday. You live in the moment. Tomorrow hasn't happened yet. But my days at WGN, it was interesting. I was 27 years young when I was sports director.
But the thing is, so that was back in 1981, and so you got the job at WGN, and then you've been now with the Chicago Bulls for
15 years. I was with the Raptors for 10.
That's right. That's right.
So this is my 25th year in the NBA. It seems like yesterday, my first game was Vince Carter and Paul Pierce's rookie season first game. And I'm looking, I saw Vince the other day. He's doing television work for the Hawks and for Orlando. And I said, you were just a pup yesterday. But it goes quickly. But I enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. I still have the same enthusiasm.
But okay, let me ask you this question.
8-year-old kid.
Now, what gets you out of bed in the morning to do what you do?
Well, number one is the Lord, first and foremost. I mean, the Spirit of the Lord. I love going to daily Mass because it sets the foundation for the entire morning. Number one, I think what sets really the foundation, other than my spiritual faith, I grew up in a naval family. My father was a decorated United States naval officer. We had to start each and every day making our bed. And we just didn't make our bed. We had to make sure it was made
the four corners.
Properly.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned the value of attention to detail.
Yeah.
So when I go into a game tomorrow, Bulls play the Raptors, I want to find out everything I can, not about the starting five of Toronto. I want to know about the 14th and 15th player. Because let's say someone goes down, there's an injury, there's an illness. All right, let's talk about what's going on with one of the Raptor players that's been buried, but all of a sudden he's
in the
getting
game.
a call.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wow. Jakob Poeltl just got traded San Antonio back to Toronto. Well, what's he done over the last week? I better have it in front of me.
So how many hours a day do you study preparing for a game?
A lot. Well, for example, I watch the upcoming opponent, in this case, Toronto.
Tomorrow night.
Yes.
In Toronto.
In Toronto. I will watch their last 3 games at minimum, probably 3 to 5 games, because you pick up tendencies. Who's hot? Who's coming in? When do they come in? What plays are they running after a timeout? All these things, I want to be in the loop.
I've gotten to know you over the last years, and I guess you are a great friend, and we've shared a lot.
People have to hear you doing a call. Could you have Greg coming down the court looking for a shot and do a call on Father Greg?
Wow.
Running.
Okay. So, Mark, your last name is pronounced Teresi?
Teresi, yeah.
Teresi and Sakowicz. Okay. We'll put this together.
Am I covering him?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All
right, so we'll put this on. Let's
blow
see.
your shorts off.
All right. All right. All right. Here we go. Let's
Okay.
see. We'll do the team we just played. Okay, Wizards.
Okay, Wizards.
Okay.
Watched it yesterday.
And we are back live on the Bulls Radio Network. Chuck Swirsky along with Bill Weddington. We've got the Bulls and Wizards tied at 94 with 4 seconds left in regulation play, side out of bounds. On the left sideline, Teresi will put the ball in play. How's that so far?
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Teresi.
That's great.
Better than I ever did.
Teresi will put the ball in play, sideline left above the three-point arc. In play to Sakowicz. Sakowicz with the handle. Angles off to the right side. 2 seconds left. Sakowicz, the fade, the fire for 3. Got it!
Yeah.
Bulls win! Bulls win! Bulls win!
Yeah.
On a Sakowicz 3-ball at the buzzer.
Wow.
Hey.
That is fantastic.
And by the way, we just signed you to a 10-day.
10-day contract, and then back off to the bench, and that was outstanding. For a moment, Chuck, hold up the book.
Okay.
Hold it in front of
There you
you.
go.
Always a Pleasure by Chuck Swirsky.
Where can they get the book?
Oh yeah, where can they get the book?
It's
Always
real
a pleasure.
simple. Thank you. You can go online.
Mm-hmm.
It's Chuck Swirsky. That's SWIRSKY. Chuck Swirsky, thebook.com. Chuck Swirsky, thebook.com.
We've got more for you after the break, including a visit to one parish working to create a sense of community.
People always say, how can you spend your day with 3-year-olds? Seeing the changes that they go through and just the journey and how they grow, this is a very rewarding job. even though at the end of the day we're not the highest paid people on earth. And when I have a parent contact me and say, my child loves school, that to me, I'm setting that foundation for their love of learning, because really you are changing lives, you are molding lives.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Welcome to the St. Ferdinand Fish Fry, a mainstay at many of our parishes in the Lenten season as Catholics prepare for Easter. Another sign of the season, hundreds come forward to let down their hair, shaving their heads at St. Baldrick's events and raising money for charity.
The outpouring of support was so amazing and so strong. I just love to talk about how amazing Queen of Martyrs has been over the past 2.5 years, and just to thank all of our parish and school community for everything they've done for us. And this is just an example of their extreme generosity and kindness.
Easter is a time of joy and rebirth as we celebrate Jesus' resurrection. We prepare for the celebration during the period of Lent. Here now are Cardinal Blaise Subich's thoughts on the gift of Easter.
Dear friends, the story and reality of Easter has the power to break through every human experience that leaves us feeling entombed and trapped. We know the dark places of sin and division in society, of economic uncertainty, violence, threats to our health and security, addictions, failed relationships, and most tellingly, a lack of love. A natural reaction is to be afraid, a fear that can easily turn into anger, and anger into desperation, and a desperation that turns into resignation because no solutions are in sight. For us, people of faith, people of Easter, the story unfolds differently. We may feel as keenly as anyone else the threat of an enveloping darkness, but we believe that Christ is risen from the dead. He has broken the bonds of sin and death, and even more, He claims us as His own. His resurrection is our victory. So let us walk confidently with Him and each other, putting aside our fears and trusting that with Him, we are on the road that leads to hope, to freedom, and the promise of new life. A blessed Easter to you all.
Throughout the Archdiocese, there are Catholic schools instilling a sense of purpose and parishes creating a sense of community. Let's take a closer look at the individuals who work to make that happen.
My name is Father Matt O'Donnell. I'm the pastor of St. Moses of Black Parish. Since the time of COVID, we've been able to keep our doors open at our food pantry. And what we've seen since the beginning of the pandemic is that the need has grown.
I've been volunteering here for a little bit over a year, and I'll ask what their specific needs are. Sometimes they need a little bit more than food, so maybe clothes or diapers or things like that. It just allows us to show the love of God.
We have more than 40 teams that participate in our 3rd through 8th grade elementary basketball league.
It brought out the best in everybody.
It's like an unbreakable bond with close classmates.
If any of us are feeling down, we work as a family, not only a team.
We're really proud of the fact that by having this athletic center, we're able to continue to provide this type of safe space in our community. The annual Catholic Appeal does really help parishes grow and sustain their ministries. And I think that there are a lot of parishes in the Archdiocese that are able to become the vibrant communities that they've been asked to become because of the support of the annual Catholic Appeal.
That spark when a student walks in the classroom in the morning, it's my favorite when they walk in the classroom and they go, Mrs. DiCasolo, I'm the first one here.
Our students are one-to-one devices, Chromebooks and iPads. And we have a lot of after-school programs that are free for our parents, for our students to participate in.
They can share their thoughts and share their ideas and explore and be creative and be the best version of themselves and go out into the world and share that with other people and with the community and be great leaders.
All of this is possible through the donors and support of the parish through the annual Catholic Appeal.
My name is Angie DiCasola and we're in St. John Vianney School in North Lake, Illinois. We build each other up through listening to each other, but also through prayer for one another. We've had some friends who were absent or sick and we stop and kids ask me, can we pray for him? They have that sense of community, that sense of love for each other that's accomplishing not just educational goals, but goals for young men and young women who are becoming leaders.
Our Catholic schools have many special spaces, from science labs to math centers, stages, and gymnasiums. At St. Benedict the African, they're celebrating their newest space, a prayer room.
So today was really special. We were kicking off Catholic Schools Week, which is the national celebration of Catholic schools and what makes them different and special. And on top of that, we were blessing our prayer space, which we've created for our school, as we don't have a church and we don't have a priest. So it's important that we have a sacred space in the building for our children to go and pray.
God is always present with us. God created the universe. So everything you see around you, everyone you see around you is a creation of God. So when we're with each other, we are present with each other and we are present with God.
I'm so grateful to be with all of you here today. And I know that you were just called students, and that's what you are. But you're something else to me. You're friends. I consider you my friends. And I'm going to be there each and every day looking for ways in which your education here can continue.
We've created this safe prayer space for the teachers, the staff, and the students. But it's just a safe space of prayer, private prayer. And I think we need that here.
Student Council thought it was important to build this prayer space because we needed an official place to give thanks to the Lord, basically.
There you can teach generations and generations on to be kind and be grateful for what you have. And also a space for where you could talk to God and ask Him about anything.
You can find more Catholic content and news right on our video stream. Just head over to our YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. Also available in podcast form wherever you get your podcasts. That's it for another edition of Sanctuary. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, may God bless you and hold you in the palm of His hand.
We invite you to watch segments of Catholic Chicago and hundreds of additional Catholic videos at youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.